Hello and welcome to Victoriana, and we're a couple of days into spring. We got pretty useless at these clips. We used to do them monthly. Basically we're just too damn busy, so we're going to attempt them sort of seasonally instead and see how we get on with that. But as I say, we plan to do it on the first day of spring, 21st of March, and here we are on the Saturday, so we're a few days in. And we're in our prop, which at this time of year is basically our mothership, and it is full. And I think that's a pretty good explanation for the whole nursery at the moment, really. We are full. We are producing and producing and producing stuff like there is no tomorrow. The beds over here are full up with young tomatoes. We've got some chilies, we've got some veg over there, we've got some lemongrass, and then we've got holy basil, something I can't even know what that is. And then loads of other stuff underway. Then in the super hot prop we've got some new and exciting stuff that we're trying for the first time, some little secret projects we've got underway, and we've got fuchsia cuttings as well, masses of fuchsia cuttings underway as well. So we are really busy all round, and yeah, I'll give you a quick tour around the nursery. So here in the bubble we are basically rammed with everything. Lots and lots of perennials underway, lawn plants underway. That's Chili Fest for this year, so that's literally all the chilies for this year's Chili Fest. And if I keep on going round, if I can, I'm not very good at this, tomatoes, then back to all the chilies that we'll be selling. There's young veg plants over there, perennial sweet peas, I don't know, lupins. I can just keep on looking everywhere, and everywhere I look there's stuff, and loads of it. And we literally are full right up to the gunnels in here. Gap here and there which will disappear on Monday, then we'll have a couple of gaps on Tuesday, they'll disappear on Wednesday. Basically we're just moving stuff around and trying to keep space in the heat, make the use of the heated space, and at the same time keep production going and getting stuff going out the door to get it hardened off. Then of course down the middle, loads and loads of beautiful citrus and exotics. They've done really well and seem to get ever more popular, and we're well stocked on those, from everything from star fruits to carob and like I say, locats and all sorts really. Can't really remember, but yeah, we are really stuffed this side, so yeah, no room at all. So on the fuchsia side of the bubble, again, full. If anyone cares to look back to our summer clip last year, where the fuchsias were looking very tired because we were in the middle of repotting all the stock plants, we didn't have many, and we'd actually stopped production completely because of the weather, you wouldn't think it was the same place. We are literally stuffed, and Serena, who's taken over the fuchsias from Mum, is struggling to keep on top at the moment. So yeah, we've got many fuchsias now. The hardies have really taken off in popularity again, which is lovely to see, and the half hardies as well, to not quite the same extent but going the right way. And yeah, now Serena is busy propagating away and trying to keep on top of the growth, which is growing like crazy at the moment, and won't be long until we start dispatching these out. And I have to say that at the moment, looking at the sales of them, there's not going to be that many left on the bench by the time we've cleared all the autumn and winter back orders, and that's why she's so busy on production as well. So out here in our bare root area, we've still got lots and lots all strawed in. I know we're only a couple of days into spring, but I have to say at the moment this spring seems to be a pretty perfect one. Certainly for bare root, because it's nice and cool, a little bit damp, so still plenty of time to plant bare root stuff. No doubt the gardening magazines have said that should all have finished now, but I'm sorry, I disagree. I think we've got at least until the end of the month. But yeah, so bare root stuff can still go in, and obviously at the same time we're pruning down and potting up bits and pieces so that we've got them for later spring and summer sales. So out here on the veg garden, we've done nothing basically. Obviously we've been lifting Jerusalem and Chinese artichokes for sales, and also the saffron that we put in the autumn, and obviously we continue to sell those in the green. But yeah, basically been too busy to do much else. Mark managed to get through one of the asparagus beds, weed it off and top dress it. So that's a job that needed to be done that's done. But yeah, really, this is an area we need to crack on to as soon as we can. So as I said, it is the perfect time to continue to plant out bare root stuff, but for us it's also the perfect time for potting up. And we're a good way through now, potting up our fruit trees, and these will obviously need to root out, and then we can think about selling them through the late spring and into the summer and autumn. So yeah, we're underway on the potting there as well, nearly there on the fruit trees, then onto the soft fruits, and finally be on to grapes. So up here in the tomato and chilli tunnel, it's had its usual winter use of being used for overwintering container stuff that needs just that little bit of extra protection when it's in a pot and not in the ground. So we've had it full up with potted grapes and also some of the potted soft fruit. Obviously the warmer weather we had in February has brought a flush of growth on some of it, but not too drastic. And now we're just using up the space that we have in here, and we do have a sniffer space for potting up liners of other soft fruit things like gooseberries and hybrid berries and stuff like that. And yeah, so we'll be full up in here soon, but really it's time for us to move this lot out. So we need another pair of arms and legs really to crack on and get all this stuff moved. So up here in the top house we have masses going on and not a lot of space for it. Basically we're producing stuff over in the bubble, the heated bubble, and then as normal it comes from there up to here, which is unheated, and we run with the vents open. So really this is just to take the worst of the cold temperatures off, but not really much at all. The doors open as well, obviously, apart from when it's windy, but it keeps the worst of the real wet off. And then more importantly for us, the stuff then goes from in here to outside before we ship it out the door. But our problem at the moment is we need to get a lot more outside. We haven't got enough arms and legs to get it outside, and we're starting to bung up in here, which means that it won't be long before we're bunging up the other end as well. So yeah, an awful lot in here. The warm weather in February was a little bit of a bonus in some ways. I'm sort of wandering over now to herb front, and this year it's brought the herbs on beautifully. And these are mainly herbs from last year, so all quite well established, and it's brought a nice flush of growth on them. And yeah, so we're well stocked on herbs as well. And again, a lot of these are heading for outside as well, and then they'll be off to our lovely customers. So yeah, all in all, we're a little bit fuller in here than we'd like to be at this time of year, but we just need to push it out the door, outside into our outside beds. So a couple of weeks back I was at a wholesale nursery that specialises actually in supplying to garden centres, and they were really pleased about the warm weather we had in February, because obviously it brought everything on. People went to the garden centres, bought all the plants, planted them into their gardens, and then of course because they were tender they died. So they get double sales, and that's exactly what they said to us. Well, obviously we're a little bit different than that, and anything we are sending out, particularly on the young veg front or any of the really young plant front, is it's important to us that it actually gets outside and is hardened off before we send it out, so it can literally go straight into the garden, no problems at all. But yeah, that's a pretty sad reflection on the horticultural industry as it is now, that people are happy to sell stuff that they know is going to die. For my part, and everyone here, the idea of putting all the effort into growing something for it then to be killed is truly upsetting. So that's why we get stuff outside as soon as we can, and as you can see here in the veg cage, lots and lots of lovely transplants, and the ones up in the top house will be moving out here soon as well. So it's that perpetual cycle of going round and round really.